Hello and welcome. My name is Casey and you are tuned in to Super Mega Baseball, the fall-winter season. Today we see the Moose take on the well-balanced Sawteeth team. Raul strikes on the bump for the Moose, the number 4 starter, and he was alright his last time out. 6 innings pitched, 5 earned runs against him, but it was enough to get him the win against the hard-hitting Freebooters team. He gives up a leadoff single to Slash Trips in this one. A ground ball to Dingers over to second, and they convert on the double play, so the single is erased, and there's 2 away in the first. Johnny Baggs drives one into right field to keep the inning alive, and he's chased by John Renero, who does the same. Back-to-back singles as Baggs turns around second, slides into third, so it's first and third, 2 away in the first inning for the Moose, and Strikes is in a bit of trouble with Sammy Shikatani coming up, and she is juiced, taking some extracurricular supplements there for Sammy Shikatani. Baggs heads back to third, but Renero is up to second, so now there's 2 runners in scoring position for Shikatani. And she pops a little dump shot out to center field. Bobbitt dives, but he can't get there. Tremendo picks it up, and the throw home is going to be late. 2 runs score. Sawtooth lead 2-0 in the first inning. Bottom of the first, and Irene leads off with a strikeout. Classic Irene. And then Hieronymus Jackson sends a ground ball to the second baseman for a quick out number 2, so Moose do not look to be responding well to the early runs. Quaker sends a soft ground ball up the middle, but the shortstop can't handle it, so at least they have a base runner here. Rip Dingers hits a line drive past the shortstop, so the Moose have a 2-out rally of their own brewing here. Nacho Crisp steps in with an absurdly high average early in the season, but he's feeling tense at the plate. He's going to see if he can maybe do something despite that, try and tie this game back up. But he rolls over a good inside pitch, and it's a ground ball to the first baseman. Junior Young Jr. leads off for the Sawteeth in the top of the second. And it's a ground ball. Quaker reaches but can't come up with it, so the Sawteeth have back-to-back innings with a leadoff base runner. Kira Nutmeg follows with a barreled ball into center field. Tremendo gets a good read on it, cuts it off, so it's first and second, none away, and Raul Strikes is in trouble again early. This brings up Junior Young Sr., that is indeed the father of Young Jr., and Sr. sends a ground ball to Bobbitt, so he advances the runners but gets out himself. Another ground ball to Bobbitt, and an out at first, but this will score the run as Young Jr. comes in. Another ground ball to third, so just the 1 run's going to come in for the Moose, but the Sawteeth are up 3-0 in the second. Bobbitt leads off the second for the Moose with a single into right field, so the Moose are fighting back, if not in runs, in hits at least. And Pedro Nixon follows him with a walk, so Moose have a couple base runners of their own. They need to cash in something here. Jose Tremendo with a ground ball through 2 diving fielders. Not a lot of speed on the base path, so it's bases loaded for Buck Swiner, who quickly strikes out. Not ideal for Buck Swiner, but that'll go to the top of the lineup and Irene Fast, and she swings up with her big stick, ready to do some damage here for the Moose. And she hits this one hard into right field, and it's dropped by the right fielder, so the Moose start rounding the bases. 2 runners are going to come into the plate, and Nixon is hosed at the plate. 2 out, 1 run scores for the Moose. Jackson pops it up. A golden opportunity squandered for the Moose. Sawteeth lead 3-1 as they start with another leadoff base runner in the third. Strikes walks the following batter. Finally gets a strikeout, so he's struggling to really figure himself out here. But Kathy Cul-de-sac comes in, and it's a single out to left field. They send the runner, and the throw comes home, but it is not in time. Sawteeth lead 4-1. Young Jr. with another ground ball past diving Quaker into right field. The runner's going to stop at third, but it's just been all ground balls for the Sawteeth today, and the Moose infield can't handle it. Another one is going to bring a run in. Bases remain loaded. It's 5-1 for Junior Young Sr., who hits a third ground ball back-to-back up the middle this time. 2 runs are going to score on that one, and quickly this game has gotten out of hand. It's 7-1, and it's time for a pitching change. Charlie Best is able to come in, and he gets back-to-back ground balls for the Moose, getting them out of this inning, but not before a lot of damage is done. It's 7-1 for the Sawteeth, and the Moose have their work cut out for them in this one. Rip Dinger steps in, looking very confident for a man with an average under 200. but he manages to connect on something, and this goes into left field, so it's a base runner with one away for a Moose in the bottom of the third as they try to fight their way back into this game. Nacho Crisp in, and he connects on this one. He drives it to right field. It's going, and it will just clear that wall. Home run, Nacho Crispa. 7-3 for the Moose as there's a glimmer of hope on the Nacho Crisp home run. Into the top of the sixth, and Charlie Best has been dealing since he came in the third inning, but the veteran finds something he likes there and sends it back into center field for a base hit here. That turns it over to Slash Trips at the top of the lineup, who also sends one up the middle past Bobbitt with a dive, and so there's two base runners on, none away, and another ball into center field. Tremendo makes the throw home, and it's not going to be in time. It's 8-3 for the Sawteeth. Charlie Best gets a big fly ball. This one is deep, but Tremendo tracks underneath it. The throw into third, but Slash Trips is going to slide in there with his speed. Best is really running on fumes as he misses to John Ranero to load the bases, and that'll be the end of his night. It's Carla Tolbert in to try and close this game out. She starts with a quick strikeout there, and then it's Kathy Caldesac coming in to try and really put this game out of reach for the Sawteeth. But she goes down on a tight two-seamer from Carla Tolbert. Two away in the eighth with a runner on. The Moose are really struggling to stay in this game, but it's Hieronymus Jackson, and he connects on a low pitch there. This one is up and deep to left field, and it is out of here. Home run for Hieronymus Jackson. 404 feet for Jackson, and the Moose are back within striking distance. It's 8-5. We head into the bottom of the ninth now. Moose down to their last 3 outs. They're stuck 3 runs. They've been cleanly out-hit this game, but they have an opportunity right now to try and come back and win this in fantastic fashion. The inning starts with a 4-pitch walk to Nacho Crisp. Fred Bobbitt follows him, but he gets under one and skies it. This will be handled in shallow left field. The left fielder comes in and makes the grab. Crisp retreats back to first. Nixon bloops one into center field, so they keep the inning going, and that'll bring the tying run to the plate for the Moose in Jose Tremendo. Tremendo's been a bit of a fringe player for the Moose, so he's looking to really earn his full-time playing spot, and he hits it on the ground to the first baseman, over to second, back to first. They complete the double play to end the game. Moose lose. A tough game for the Moose. They were behind from the start and could never find their way back, really just letting the Sawteeth hitters jump all over the ball. They had some bright spots. Nacho Crisp with a nice home run, Jose Tremendo as well to earn some points back. But the Moose look to get their vengeance against the Sawteeth in Game 2. Let's jump into it. So if the Moose want to win Game 2 here, they're going to have to reduce the hits, but they have their ace, Rhiannon Cannon, out. So you're hoping that she can kind of shut this team down as she immediately gets a ground ball from Slash Trips over to Dingers, who gets the out at first. Johnny Bags in second, and he dumps one over a leaping Fred Bobbitt, so it's quickly a hit here for the Sawteeth. And another one goes up the middle, 2 base runners on, and they're right back to their antics from Game 1. Ranero rolls over one, and it just dribbles out to Cannon, who throws it to second, not in time at first for the double play, so the inning will continue first and third. And Lester Bronco rips one, but it's caught by Dingers, so Cannon works herself out of some trouble there. Bottom half of the first, and Irene steps in to lead it off, and this one is sent up the middle. Irene with a hit in the first inning and a leadoff base runner for the Moose. She immediately leaves, but it's a hit and run from the Moose, and Jackson connects and drives it into left field. Irene heads into third. First and third for the Moose, none away. And Perry Quaker does a job and sends this to the outfield. This is going to be deep enough to score the run. Irene tags, and she's in without a contest. 1-0 Moose in the bottom of the first. Jackson catches the Sawteeth sleeping. He leaves for second, and he's in there safely. Dingers, true to form, immediately follows that up with a strikeout. And so Nacho Crisp comes in with 2 away, and he barrels this one up. It's going, it's high, it's deep. It is caught on the warning track by Slash Trips. Bottom of the third, and Irene is up with 1 away, and she sends a ball the opposite way. The first baseman takes a huge leap, but can't get there. Irene's on. Irene runs on the 3-0, but the pitch misses, so Irene turns that into a jog, and Jackson heads to first. It's a double steal, and the Moose are running today. The throw is wild. Irene turns to home. Jackson into third, and the Moose are ahead 2-0. Fabio Fabula blows a fastball by Perry Quaker for the second out in this one. And Rip Dingers gets just under a pitch. Doesn't quite have the distance here, and it'll be handled by the left fielder for the third out. Top of 4, and a tense Pex Flex comes in for the Sawteeth, and he's going to lead off this inning with a single up the middle. The Sawteeth just love these ground balls through the infield. So it's John Renero in, and it's another ground ball through the infield, back up the middle, and they're just going to pile these on to try and get back in this game. Another ground ball, but this is going to burn them. Bob it to Crisp at 2, over to 1. It's a double play, even though the runners were going. But Matty Batts sticks to the ground ball and gets a single out of it, and the Sawteeth are on the board. It's 2-1. Batts leaves for second and steals cleanly on the Moose, but Cannon gets a strike out of it. Next pitch, though, it's high and deep, and this one might put the Sawteeth ahead, but Tremendo gets there just at the warning track to make the third out. 2-2 to Crisp in the bottom of the fourth, and he just drives this right into right field. He's followed by Fred Bobbitt, who pops one, but it's going to go into short center field and a dive, but they can't come up with it. So the Moose have 2 base runners, none away, bottom of the fourth. Jose Tremendo in, and this is a ground ball down the line. A great dive by Junior Young Jr. to stop that ball. And so there's 2 runners in scoring position for Swiner. Another great dive, solid defense by the Sawteeth, but the run scores and it's 3-1 for the Moose. They try to pull off a suicide squeeze, but Rhodes misses the bunt. Both runners get hung up. It's a double play out of nowhere. So the Moose end up with just 1 run. Man, they had 1 out going into that play, and a botched bunt shuts down the inning. The Sawteeth remain well in this game. Cannon back out for the top of the 5th to face DP Turner, and she's been effective so far, only 45 pitches, but Turner drives this into center field for a leadoff hit for the Sawteeth. The next batter pops it up, and Tremendo settles under it comfortably, though there's 1 away with a runner on first. Cannon walks / trips, so she puts a runner in scoring position, and Johnny Baggs drives this into left. Swiner gets to the ball quickly, so the runner is held, but it's bases loaded with 1 out, and that'll bring up Pex Flex, who's looking to put the Sawteeth ahead at this point. Cannon gives him the cutter inside, but he turns on it. Bobbitt dives and tries to make the play, but he can't get there. Fast throws it in. It's 3-2. Renero follows him with the exact same hit. Bobbitt dives and can't get this one either. Fast with the throw in. The bases remain loaded, but the game is tied, and Lester Bronco comes in. He's 0 for 2, but he's looking to change that now. And that's going to be it for Cannon. Charlie Best is going to come in to get him out of this jam. Best gets Bronco to pop up into foul territory, and then it's Matty Batts who just limps one, but Bobbitt gets under it, barely makes the grab, turning around for the third out. Jumping ahead to the bottom of the 7th, and Jose Tremendo steps in. He's tense right now, but he connects on this one, and this will hopefully change his feelings. This ball goes to the wall, and Tremendo is going to get in easily with a double to lead off the 7th for the Moose. Swiner follows that with a single into left field. Tremendo takes the turn around third. Johnny Baggs makes the throw, and it is in time. Tremendo is hosed at the plate for the first out. Rhodes gets a ground ball to the right side, so Swiner's able to move up to third, but the Moose got robbed on Tremendo's play. But Irene steps up, looking to make up for it and be a hero today for the Moose. She's locked in, but it's a ground ball to the second baseman, who just flips it over to first to end the inning. Sawteeth get out of some big trouble there with some excellent defense. After 7, this game is tied at 3. Top of the 9th, and Moose do not want to go to extras. It's Klaus to game, the closer, out to get them a shutdown inning to bring them a chance in the bottom half. / trip sends one into center field, so they have a 1-out base runner, and he immediately leaves for second because it's a free bag against the Moose catching. He's in there safely, and Johnny Baggs connects on this one. Bobbitt dives, but just misses it. It's into center field, and Trips turns and scores. It's 4-3 for the Sawteeth in the top of the 9th. A ground ball to Quaker on the next batter will get the double play, and they convert it. The Moose have no choice now. They need a run. They're going into the bottom of the 9th, down by 1. Nacho Crisp leads off, and he starts it with a pop-up on an outside pitch to the left fielder, who handles it easily for out number 1. Bobbitt in next, and he pops it up to shallow left field. The second baseman able to get there for this one, so it's just down to Jose Tremendo, who just sends a soft pop-up, real short. First baseman waving his arms like an idiot, but makes the grab. Moose lose 4-3. A heartbreaker of a loss there. Moose were in it until the last minute there. Got robbed on a couple really good plays from the Sawteeth. Again, out hit, and I think that's a problem that they're going to need to fix. But they got one opportunity left to avoid the sweep in this 3-game set. Let's jump into game 3. Joffrey Rockman throwing for the Moose in this one. He has been their best starter to this point. He had a phenomenal outing his last game against the Crocodons. 8 innings, only 2 earned runs. And in this one, he starts with 2 quick outs for the Sawteeth. A nice change of pace for them here as he deals to Johnny Baggs, who pops it up. So a little different look in this game. The Sawteeth go 1-2-3 in the first. Irene Fast in for the Moose, and she also gets a pop-up, so it'll be an easy out handled by the right fielder. And they have Thrash Allmeyer on. He is good. He's got solid accuracy, so it's really difficult to handle, especially with that nice slider he can work with. As Perry Quaker drives this one deep, and it is off the very top of the wall. Quaker turns and slides into second. He's got a double with 2 away in the bottom of the first. Unfortunately, it's followed by a ground ball to the shortstop, who handles it for the 3rd out, so nothing comes of the double. Top of 3rd, and Rockman has 1 on and 1 away. That brings up the 9-hitter DP Turner, who's looking to make something happen here. Oh! And he smokes a line drive right back at Rockman and hits him in the temple. And he is going to leave this game in an ambulance. My goodness. The Moose are forced to bring out their long reliever, Felix Farmhand. You can see on the left, Rockman's injury is listed as just extreme pain all over everything. Hopefully he is okay for future games as Farmhand tries to pick up the pieces here, but the bases get loaded quickly on him. He gets a ground ball to Bobbitt with the bases loaded and 1 away. They turn 2 to save this game and keep it 0-0, but Rockman, who has been the Moose best starter, is out of this game, and the Sawteeth are going to look to take advantage of that. Tremendo gets on with a single, and Swiner hits this one high and deep. It is going. It is not deep enough. Trips grabs it at the wall. Tremendo heads back to first. Top of the order for Irene Fast. It's a ground ball. A beautiful dive by DP Turner, but he does not get the double play this time. As Tremendo drives one back up the middle, it looks like he was trying to hit their pitcher in retaliation, and that leaves the Moose 1st and 3rd, 2 away. Perry Quaker to the plate. It's up the middle, past a reaching Turner. This will get into center field, and so the Moose retaliate to the violence with a run scored. It's 1-0 for the Moose, and Rip Dinger steps in, looking to try to give them a little extra, but he goes down on 3 strikes. He's not happy about that. He needs to figure something out, and something quick. The Moose get 1 run. After 3, it is 1-0. Farmhand has held his own in this game up to this point since he's come in, but this one has started off with a ground ball from the Sawteeth, as they love to do. Kieran Nutmeg up the middle, and now this one is on the ground. Chris gets it over to second. 6-4-3 double play. So Farmhand is still rolling in the top of the 5th, but DP Turner goes first pitch swinging. He was sitting fastball all the way and sends this one way out of here. Home run for DP Turner, his 1st on the year, and the Sawteeth have tied this game at 1. Bottom of the 7th, and the starter for the Sawteeth is still out there. Nacho Chris takes him down the right field line. This will get into the corners. Chris makes the turnaround first, and he's in with a leadoff double late in this game. Bobbitt next with a ground ball to the right side. First baseman handles it and flips it to the pitcher, who drops it on the play. So Bobbitt reaches 1st and 3rd, none away for Pedro Nixon. Ground ball to the 3rd baseman, who goes home. Crisp gets hung up. Nacho does a little spin, but gets tagged by Junior Young Sr. for the 1st out. Tremendo pops it up to the catcher, who makes the grab for the 2nd out. And now Buck Swiner steps in to try to give the Moose a lead. So much for that. We're going into the 8th inning, tied at 1. Bottom of the 8th, and Jackson steps in feeling good. He works himself a walk, So there's a runner on with one away for the Moose, and that brings up Perry Quaker, who barrels this one, and it gets through the infield. So 2 runners on now, and the Moose have another opportunity to get ahead in this game. Rip Dingers able to bloop one. He comes through. Jackson heads home, and the throw from Trips goes into third, so he scores. It's 2-1 for the Moose. Charlie Best out to shut it down for the Moose. Going to give Klaus the game tonight off after the hard loss in the last game. And he quickly gets an out from Junior Young Sr. Gets Pex Flex to go on the ground to Bobbitt, who flips it over to first, 2 away. And then Kira Nutmeg on the ground. Dingers dives, picks it up, and throws it to first. Moose win 2-1. The Moose just barely finding their way out of the sweep from the Sawteeth. They do lose the series, but they come away with the 1 win in this last game. Moose showed some real character today after taking 2 losses and losing their pitcher early in this game. They come through to win it. My name is Casey. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time when the Moose take on the Sandcats.